Welcome back. We're going to finish up who eats what, food chains and food webs today. But so far in this book, we have only been reading about land animals and plants. Today, we're going to take a look at food chains that occur underwater. On land, most food chains are short, but scientists still have much to learn about them. They have even more to learn about food chains in the seas. These chains are long. They are also hard to study because most of the plants and animals live underwater. So let's take a close look at this food chain. So it starts down here with these teensy tiny plants that are eaten by this small little fish right here called an anchovy. So these tiny plants that they're showing a close-up of with a microscope, these tiny plants, whoops, sorry friends, these tiny plants are being eaten by this little anchovy right here. And then this anchovy is being eaten by this mackerel right here. Getting a little bigger, isn't it? But then this mackerel is getting eaten by this dog snapper, it's called. Isn't that a crazy name for a fish? A dog snapper. And then that dog snapper is being eaten by a great barracuda. Oh my goodness, look at those teeth. So that is a food chain because they are all connected. In the water, as on land, food chains begin with green plants. Some of the plants are tiny, like the ones we just talked about. You need a microscope to see them. And some are bigger, like this one over here. This is kelp. Kelp is a type of seaweed. See how it grows right from the seafloor up and those big leaves come off? And then we have a pepper dulce over here, red algae, a cladophora, and sea lettuce right here. There's all different types of plants that are growing. It says the green plants are food for many tiny creatures, which become food for bigger creatures. Small fish are eaten by bigger fish, which are eaten by still bigger fish, which are eaten by even bigger fish. So this one right here shows tiny plants and animals being eaten by a herring, being eaten by a tarpon. Ooh, we have those off of our beaches, don't we? Being eaten by a shark. Oh my goodness. There's a food chain. The biggest, such as tuna, are at the tops of food chains unless they're caught by humans. Then one of them may turn up in your tuna fish sandwich. See the jar of tuna? That came from that big tuna right there. Both the tuna and you are part of a food chain that began with a tiny green plant. Food chains are found wherever life is found. The far south of the world, Antarctica, is icy and bitterly cold for much of the year, but in summer its seas come alive. The water is rich with tiny green plants. They are fed on by tiny animals, and these are fed on by small animals such as krill, which look like shrimp. All these animals and plants are food for bigger animals, such as fish or squid or, I can think of an animal that we studied earlier this year, back in January, that lived in Antarctica and they ate krill as well. Can you think of what they are? Let's see if you can spot them on this next page. Yeah, we talked about the penguins, didn't we? Yep, they're also connected to those food chains with krill. So it says many other animals come to feast in these Antarctic waters. There are seals, whales, and dolphins. There are many seabirds, among them penguins. All the animals are linked to the tiny green plant that started them. This drawing shows a food web. Nope, I'm going to start that sentence again because I didn't read it correctly. Let's start again. The drawing shows a web of food chains at the far south of the world. The arrows show who eats what. Follow the arrows and find the animals that feed on krill. One of them is the blue whale, the biggest animal on earth. Find the animals that eat krill. So let's do that. Okay, so here is this crazy food web. And we know it's a food web because we have arrows going in every which direction, don't we? So here's the krill. What animals specifically eat krill? Let's see. We've got this one right here, the crab-eater seal. It eats krill too. And this fish right here just says fish. Fish eat krill. What else eats krill? What else does it go to? Oh yeah, the penguins we talked about can eat krill. And the seabirds can eat krill. And the blue whale up here can eat krill. All of those arrows going from the krill to the other things, all of them can eat krill. And what did it tell us to do? Find the animals that eat krill. Okay, so we're going to all the different animals that eat krill. Let's start with the fish. So the fish ate the krill. What can eat the fish? Oh, the killer whale can eat the fish. The seal can eat the fish. The Weddell seal. Also, the leopard seal can eat the fish. And a squid could eat the fish. All of those things, my goodness, could eat the fish that ate the krill. Okay, so now let's see what else we had that ate the krill. We had, oh my goodness, I missed this whole side over here that ate the krill. Let's see, we've got the crab-eater seal, which can be eaten by the killer whale. We have, coming up and around this way, the leopard seal, which can be eaten by the killer whale again. Oh my goodness. Then we have the penguins, which can be eaten by a leopard seal. Oh dear. We have the krill that can eat seabirds that can be eaten by the leopard seal. We have the krill that can be eaten by the blue whale, which can be eaten by the killer whale. So if we look here, what animal is at the top of this food web that's not being eaten by anything else? So it's at the top of it. The killer whale, huh? Nothing is eating it. That's interesting. So it's at the top of the food web. Great work, friends. All right. So here's what I want you to do today. Today I want you to draw me an underwater food chain. It doesn't have to be a food web. It doesn't have to be super complicated like that one, unless you want to do a food web. You can do one if you want to. But I'm just looking for an underwater food chain. I need to see that it starts from the tiny plants and it goes up gradually until it gets to the bigger fish. So go ahead and make that for me and make sure you do those labels on there so I know exactly what I'm looking at. Thanks for reading with me today, friends. Bye-bye.